Hello, this is Stuart Fensterheim, the Couples Expert. Welcome to another edition of the Couples Expert Podcast. This is episode number 105. This week, we're going to be celebrating Go for Broke Day. That's April 5th. And it got me thinking about how all of us can go for broke with our relationships. This podcast is a mechanism to help all of you really understand that going for broke is about giving your all, going all in, such as in poker. You go all in, you invest everything. What I would like to see all of you doing is going all in with your love life. And here at the Couples Expert Podcast, we go all in every single week. Every single week we go all in to really help all of you have the relationship that only some people in this world have. And those that do, compared to those that don't, are the ones that go all in, are authentic, transparent, and really recognizing the power that the two of you have is to have a relationship that is going to be special. Not just good enough, but special. Next week, before we get into this podcast, we're going to be talking about Easter and Passover. And I can't believe that we're really at that point again, talking about Easter. Easter and my wife and I, as some of you may be aware, are an interfaith couple. So this time of year really is quite interesting at the Fensterheim household because we really try to make our world, our life, our relationship unique to the two of us. And we incorporated cultural and everything that really is the best of all religions together in our world. Because my wife and I, as an interfaith couple, really hold on and are very fascinated by how interesting traditions really have evolved. And when we look back over ancient times and we apply those lessons today, it's really powerful. So what am I doing for going for broke this week? Well, when I thought about that, I wanted to do something a little different. So my wife and I are taking a little mini vacation to a place in Arizona called the Lazy Dog Ranch. It's a bed and breakfast in Sierra Vista. We won this at a fundraiser that we attended recently because if you've been listening long enough to my podcast, you know that my wife and I are actually huge supporters of Desert Lab Rescue. It's a Phoenix-based dog rescue, and we attended this and won a gift basket at a silent auction. And what we won is an overnight stay at a dog-friendly B&B called the Lazy Dog Ranch. And we went and we spent the night there with Ollie. And it was really fun to hike around and to really do what we love, which is hiking and really taking Ollie on a walk through the San Pedro National Conservation Area. And we just got away. And it's so wonderful that we were able to do that. Ollie, Debbie, and I are big hikers, and we just love just exploring and finding this new area and going there and just exploring and really just connecting while we hike. And Ollie will just play and roll around in the dirt and look for other dogs. And he's so social. That's why he's such a great therapy dog for us. The cares of the world, the phone's away, no one's going to bother us, and we're going to be able to just talk, take a step back. And that's why it was such a wonderful experience. It really gives me a perspective that we don't always do. We don't take the time to stand back and reflect. This weekend at Sierra Vista was so reflective. And it allowed me to once again just acknowledge to Debbie how important she is to me and what she's done in my life for me, creating something so unique, a love story that the two of us have that truly is going to be about us understanding that there's no one else in the world that's more important, and that by some wild chance I lucked out. This kid from the Bronx lucked out by having Debbie agree to be my wife. And we got to experience all the joys of that because we enjoy all these adventures together in life. And what I'm going to do is put in the show notes for those that have an interest in this, a little bit about Desert Lab Rescue, as well as the Lazy Dog Ranch Bed and Breakfast. You might be asking, why did I choose to go for Broke Day to talk about? And it'd be a good question. But you know those poker tournaments that they have on television? It always catches my attention when one of the players goes all in or goes for broke. I usually hold my breath and wait for the dealer. It's always really quiet. No one's talking. You know what it is you realize that someone has risked it all. And it's just thrilling. And also a little bit of worry. If they win, I think, wow, they are great players. If they lose, man, they shouldn't have been so foolish. It's funny how my reaction always changes based on the outcome. Then I came to find that there's truly a holiday surrounding this concept of going for broke and risking it all. So, of course, I had to do a podcast on it. We all take gambles, and some of us enjoy that thrill of putting it all on the line and betting to win. But do you want to bet on your relationship, on your love life? Do you believe enough in the two of you to say, I'm going to go all in? Let me tell you something. Just the concept of taking a risk, it's part of life. You have to risk if you want it all. But what are you really risking? In a relationship, you're risking being hurt. You're risking having an incredibly loving, forever relationship and having the relationship of a lifetime. Now, if you knew how to do that, how much of a risk is it? The guys with the poker tournament, they don't do all in unless they know enough about the game and the stakes. And the professional poker players, those are the ones that go all in, but it's not as much of a risk because they know the odds for success are great and that the likelihood of a successful outcome is high. If you could read the cards, if you knew what all the players had, it wouldn't be such a high risk. That's what we really have to offer today. Knowing the blueprint of what it takes, which is a relationship that's filled with authenticity, transparency, and realizing that the cycles that the two of you are caught up in can get in the way of having the love life that you've always desired. And if you don't go all in, you won't have the fantastic outcome. So what we have here is we have knowledge. We have a way to see the cards and know that the two of you can have a successful outcome of going all in. That's what love relationships are about. When you fall in love and you make a commitment to a partner, there's risk there. You're taking a huge risk. You risk everything on the hope that your relationship is the right one, and the person you're choosing to go for broke with is going to be the winner. It's going to be the ace in the hole. It takes a lot of courage to go all in, especially if you've been hurt. The truth is, if you don't take that gamble, take the risk to go for broke with your partner, then you're holding something back. Don't do that. You can't do that to yourself. You have to go all in. You have to commit fully to this idea that this is the partner of your life. This is the partner. And the two of you together are an unstoppable force, and that you can confidently go for broke and risk it all with this person because the reward is worth it. Is there a possibility you might lose? Of course. We're not foolish here. But we know that if you have the blueprint, if you follow the plan, then you and your partner can create such a wonderful love story that no one can get in the way. And that your relationship is worthy of betting it all for the biggest win in your entire life. So what does going all in really mean in terms of your relationship? And what does it look like? Not just committing fully to your partner with your heart and not holding back. Investing everything emotionally, and investing your time, your effort, your respect, your confidence, and the hopes for your lifetime. All in means all. It means that you expect to make it work. You expect success. Sure, you know it's a little bit of a gamble, but you're going to invest everything you can to make sure that your partner does the same and that you'll be successful if you do it together, and that the two of you will come out as winners. It means that you're going to take a gamble, but it's a calculated risk with all the facts, with all the information that you need, and a blueprint of what exactly it's going to take to have your relationship be a relationship that's better than anyone you know. You know that if you both do this together, if you both go for broke, you'll end up winning the whole pot, which is a lifetime of love and happiness with this particular partner. You know, a quote that caught my eye recently, and I think it applies today, is a quote that goes like this: if you're not going all the way, why go at all? Think about that. If you're not going all the way, why go at all? If you're not going to get up on that stage and really give it 100,000%, why bother? Why get in a relationship if you're not going to do that? That quote comes from someone that I really have a lot of respect for, and it's a quarterback for the New York Jets by the name of Joe Namath. I remember watching Joe Namath play football with the Jets when I was a kid. I used to watch it when I would go visit my dad. It's a great, great memory. It's a memory of connection. We spent a lot of time watching football together. Joe Namath was at his peak and was a household name in football and was even doing commercials. This quote struck me as a great illustration that when you commit to your partner, you absolutely have to give it all. If you're not going to give your partner in your relationship everything from beginning to end, you're setting yourself up to fail. You're going to really be the one that's caused the problem. So many people look outside themselves. It's inside us that the solution is. It's inside that is the answer to your prayer of having a relationship. If you take that responsibility, that you're going to give it all. You will have it all. Going for broke in your relationship truly means that both of you have to be willing to take risks in your life together. Not for something vague or unseen, but for today, every single day, and for all of the tomorrows that you have together too. If you're not going to give that, if you're going to hold back because the fear gets in the way that it might not work, you will be the one sabotaging this relationship. You may not even realize that you're doing it. It may feel like you're just being cautious or guarding yourself. But the reality is that you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to actually expect things not to work. That's where it gets a little bit gray for me when we start talking about things like prenuptial agreements or people who end up separated, and when they move back, they keep their place that they had just in case. I don't know if that's smart. I think that we all have to do things in the time that we have, and we have to do it in the right timing. But sometimes we hold back too much, and that's what gets in the way of us having a relationship that's going to be really exceptional and not just good enough. Instead of doing that, devote yourself fully to your partner. Go all in and go for broke in your relationship. Hold nothing back. Invest every single day. The two of you doing this together will be the best gamble that you've ever made. And the rewards are endless. You win by having a partner that has your back. You win from holding nothing back and being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of that person. I went in to the battle and fought tooth and nail, scratched and clawed myself to the top, the pinnacle, where you can look back and go, man, I'm proud of myself. I did it all. I developed the most true and authentic and transparent relationship of anyone I know. I went all in. And if your partner is doing this too, that's pretty impressive. You know, what I recognize, and part of why I do this podcast, is I recognize that not everyone needs to be in counseling. This isn't about promoting my practice and having you come to see me, and that's why I do this podcast. This podcast is more for those of you that don't need counseling, that just need some information. And that's why one of the things that I'm going to be doing recently, which is a new venture of mine, it's called Stuart's Daily Notes. Stuart's Daily Notes is really the message here, is that every single day, waking up and deciding you're going all in and you're going to do it, and what Stuart's Daily Notes is going to help you with is giving you something to focus on every single day, so that you're going to go all in. And the way you're going to go all in is taking a few minutes every day to send the right message to your partner, to being transparent, to talking about the things that are necessary to help you, and to give you the skills that will say, if you do this, you will have a relationship that you are so darn proud of. You know, I realize there's a lot of podcasts out there, and it really makes me so very happy that you've chosen this podcast to listen to. And I'm constantly looking for ways to spread the word about what we're doing here at the Couples Experts. So please go to iTunes, write me a review, give me a suggestion, tell me what you want me to podcast about. This podcast is only as good as the feedback that I get about it. And I encourage all of you to write to me, to email me at stuart@thecouplesexperts.com. Watch my YouTube videos. I'm really out there trying to share this message of love and connection and helping all of you have that relationship where the rewards can be endless. You win by having that partner that truly has your back. And literally, here at the podcast, what we're doing is trying to change lives one relationship at a time. Thank you again for joining me this week. It's been my pleasure and honor to bring you this podcast, and hope you take a moment to just turn to your partner, and hopefully they listened with you. But if not, share some of these thoughts and tips with them and let your partner know how thrilled you are that they're in your life. Take care and stay connected. Bye-bye.